What's up, Brainiacs? What's better than a Blabberbrain show? A Blabberbrain show outside. Get ready for a special Fireside Chat edition of Blabberbrains with our special guest, Joe Marini. Let's do this.
Blabberbrains.
And welcome back to Blabberbrains. I know we've been away for, what was it, almost a month? About a month since our last episode, so we apologize for that, but life gets in the way of things that you need to get done, and things take priority over a podcast, and it's just the way it is. But we're back, and the guy over there in the dimly lit porch and the ever popular Big M hat that he's known for is the Big M Mark Anthony. What do you say?
Good evening, everybody in video land.
Thankfully, there's more and more every time we have one of these episodes, so that's a good thing. We're growing in popularity, as they say. So nowhere to go but up.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. I mean, it's been fun. You know, a lot of great feedback. I posed a question the other day about the formats of this show, because we like to mix it up and kind of do something a little bit different every time. I know some people like consistency and some people like the uniqueness. As you notice, the one thing that's different about today's podcast is we are outside. We were having a little fireside chat, smoking our stogies here. This is how the Big M and I are used to talking. So we're... that's how this whole thing started. We were sitting in cigar bars. Actually, we've been blabbering a lot longer than cigar bars, but I mean, the whole idea of getting this thing kicked off is because of the conversations we would have while sitting around in the cigar bar. So why not pay homage to that by doing a Blabberbrains episode in celebration of us cigar smokers and those that tune in that love to enjoy the fancy tobaccos. So what are you smoking tonight there, Big M?
Well, I figured because I'm wearing a hat tonight and my usual prescription sunglasses, I would get all rugged because I'm super rugged, as everybody knows. So I have me a Kentucky Fire Cured Sweet. It's just a slight touch of bourbon sweetness to it. It's the Fat Molly, and It's really good with bourbon. I'm drinking some Jim Beam Black with a little bit of Coke and some fresh lime.
Well, I have my traditional Gentleman Jack on the rocks for my libations tonight, and I've got a 10th anniversary Perdomo Habano. These have become my favorite smokes. They're just so consistent in the way they burn, the draw, the aroma, everything. They're just a very consistent cigar. So,
I also have a guest here with me. He's half asleep now, but here's my
what's
buddy
up, Cooper?
My little dog.
Cooper's an internet star. Yeah, everybody loves Cooper.
Yeah, he's half asleep though. He went back over next to me. He'll probably get up and go back in the house because it's pretty warm out here. I got a fan blowing, but he'll probably go back into the air conditioning in due time.
Cooper could get us at probably an extra 1,000 or 2,000 viewers. You never know. We just mentioned that he's on the show, so people want to tune in for that.
Yeah, he has a fan base. Most of them don't have Facebook accounts, but.
Well, we got a special guest coming up on the second half of the show. A good buddy of mine for 20-some years, Joe Marini. And those of you in the Pittsburgh area and possibly Las Vegas area know who Joe is, and we'll get into discussions about his background and why he's deserving of being on the Blabberbrain show. He's just a great guy, funny guy, and enjoys the tobacco sticks like as we do, and he's going to be really good to talk to. But first, let's get another Blabber Boast out of the way. First, cue the song.
Blabber Boast.
There you go. Yeah. So my Blabber Boast tonight is we're going to give some praises to a hometown company that manufactures something that is absolutely phenomenal all over the country, maybe even all over the world. I don't know how far their distribution goes. But I'm talking about my favorite breakfast meal is this FitCrunch protein bar. It's Robert Irvine's FitCrunch, and it's made by Irvine Foods. I'm sure that Irvine is mixed in there somewhere, but they're actually based in Pleasant Hills, and they make. I bought these in Florida. I'm sure you can buy them in any state that you go to. But what makes these so special is not just the amount of protein that's in them. It's not just the flavor. They're absolutely the bomb. They're amazing. But they're actually baked, and you don't see this often. You see, whether they're put in, just packed together with caramel or salt, melted salt. Then they put all kind of other ingredients like caramel or malt or something like that. Pack it in together, cut them all up, whatever. Then box them up. Some are freeze dried, so on and so forth. But these are baked. This is a unique formula. It's a unique recipe. He actually makes these for FitCrunch, but then he also makes these FitCrunch bars. He makes some specific recipes for GNC. So you can buy these in GNC also, but you can buy these Walmart, Giant Eagle, Shop and Save, any place around. If you're down south, you can go to Publix, Winn-Dixie, places like that. Get these. I'm sure Kroger's has them. But they also like some. This is peanut butter, by the way, which is the absolute bomb. I love peanut butter. They also make peanut caramel, which is another one of my favorite. Cookie dough, cookies and cream. Some other ones that they make that you might like, which not so much my favorite, but birthday cake and peanut butter and jelly, stuff like that. But anyways, just wanted to pay homage to a local town company that makes an awesome product. And no matter where you're at in the country, you can go to the store and pick yourself up FitCrunch, and then maybe let us know if you got to try it and what you thought of it. But I think they're pretty awesome. So,
I've had them before.
Yeah, you got anything to boast about?
Well, you know what? I forgot all about this, and I ended up throwing the packaging out of what I was going to boast about.
Well, you could talk about it anyways. You don't have to show the package.
But to get back to what you were just talking about, I've had those a few times, and they are really good. I've got them at a Get-Go, which is basically a Giant Eagle gas station,
right,
down the street from me. And they're also, I don't know if you mentioned or not, you cut out on me there for a second, but they're also like low carb too. Would fit into an Atkins sort of thing. There's a lot of
that's because
protein,
they're baked, and there's not, like I said, as far as like the cookie part in here, the cookie part's rather small. It's all the other ingredients that kind of stack it up to be kind of good. It's a little dark out here, otherwise I'd be able to read the ingredients off. But anyways, so what do you got to boast about?
Well, I don't even know. These could have even been out for a while and I didn't know about it. But I was grocery shopping a couple days ago and going through the aisles, and I come across these. Now I've had Nutter Butter cookies, those peanut butter cookies,
right? That
they sell like an Oreo, stuff like that. Well, they're selling them fudge dip, and they caught my eye, and they were on sale. 3 boxes, I think it was $10, something like that. So I bought 3 boxes, and 3 days later, I'm done with all 3 boxes of them.
Wow.
I've been eating a box of them a day. I mean, and I always thought Nutter Butters were a pretty good cookie, but with the thick fudge on them, oh my God. I've been eating a box of them a day, a package of them a day. If they were a woman, I would make hot monkey love to it.
Well, I'm sure
again.
I'm sure that doesn't help with the COVID weight that most of us have put on.
I had to go buy new. This is the first time in years I've had to do this. I had to buy a few pair of shorts just to wear for the summer because I can't fit in any.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, I mean, I'm out of jeans.
I have the stretchy waistbands that helps. Now, actually, about a week or so ago, I've actually started to kind of curtail my diet and try to see if I can shed a few of these pounds. I don't have time to work out like I used to be able to work out, so I just kind of got to do it by my diet right now until I can find that time to be able to work out. But anyway, so, well, that's the end of this
Blabber Boast
segment. All right. So, something interesting happened today was, I come across a lot of interesting panhandlers along the way, and I've had told stories about them, stuff like this. But just to be clear about how I handle panhandlers on the road, either whether I pass them by walking or whether I'm driving by them and stuff. Pittsburgh has a plethora of them. You can't, be on any main roadway or any, major street corner without running into a panhandler. And so typically what I do is, most of them have signs up that say, homeless or hungry and all this other stuff, anything helps, that type of thing. It's not my part to judge whether these people really are homeless or whether they're just out there just trying to make a buck because they don't either want to work or they can't work, and whatever their situation is, I don't try to prejudge them. The way I deal with it, I drive around with a box of Cliff Bars in my vehicle, and I feed them. I give them, if they're actually homeless and they're hungry, I figure they could use some food. So that's just as good as giving them money, I guess. So rather than being this person who says, well, if I give them money, they're just going to do X, Y, and Z with the money, I still want to help people out, So the way I work it is I'll give them food if I'm driving by and they're on a street corner, I hand them out. But the other thing I like to do is if I'm walking up one of the streets of Pittsburgh, like the Strip District or something like that, and someone's playing like an instrument, saxophone, clarinet, some people, play guitar, that you see them on the street corner. These people are at least doing something to earn the money. So those are the people I give money to as a little tip or whatever for performing and entertaining people. But today, I had this panhandler, and as typical what I do, he has a sign saying, homeless, hungry, please, anything help. He walked over to the car, saw I was handing him a Cliff Bar, and he's like, oh, thanks, buddy, I'm good. And I'm like, at least could you put on a show to, because I'm going to pass by you probably every single day for the next week, however long you're standing out there, whatever other people are doing that. Could you at least put on a show and be gracious and take it and say, thanks a lot, whatever, God bless, whatever you want to say. I've come across a few rude people before. That just kind of blows me away, why you wouldn't even, I'm not trying to, maybe he thinks, oh, I laced it with something and I'm trying to harm him. I just pulled it out of my bag. But, another time where this guy was standing on a street corner of 88 and 51, and there's Leopardi Auto Sales right behind him, right there. And he's looking for money, and he says, lost my job, trying to feed my family, anything helps, right? So I said, and Leopardi had this sign up on their board that said, lawn attendant wanted, right? And I'm like, it's right there. So I said, I wound my window down. I was very nice to the guy. I said, hey, I'm not sure if you happen to notice. I said, but Leopardi over there, they're looking for a lawn attendant. I said, maybe you can go over there and ask for a job. And he's like, nobody effing asked you. Yelling at me. She's like, F you, get out of here. Like yelling at me, cursing at me. And I'm like, really? Dude, I'm just trying to help you. Like,
you're probably not the person to tell them that.
Well, okay,
right there.
am I stating the obvious? They got a big sign there. You shouldn't be. If your shtick is you're just trying to out there looking for somebody to give you money, you shouldn't be standing outside of a place that's looking for somebody to come work for them with a sign saying, I'm out of work, I need help. Just common sense 101, I guess, but we've seen that before. Common sense is kind of dead.
Yeah, but, common sense isn't so common anymore.
Oh.
He probably still did okay there.
Oh, I'm sure he does. These people.
Or he's not there. He probably wouldn't be there.
Well, again, it's not my place to judge, but if someone is trying to give you a friendly gesture, I don't care if it's giving you money or giving you food or giving you a tip or something. What if I would have walked up and said, hey, dude, I'll hire you. I need somebody at my bit. Would he have still yelled at me? Because he's just out there looking for free handouts? I don't get that. So
well,
I would have a word to those people, but they're probably not tuning into the Blabber Rain show. But I would just say, if I were to talk to these people, look, just be courteous. If people are trying to be nice to you, you don't have to be rude back to them. And to everybody else tuning in here, do your part to help these people out. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, they're fake. They're not even homeless." And you see stories. I see videos all these time of people panhandling, and they get into nice cars and drive away. There's one video. One guy walked over this lady. It was in California. A guy handed this lady $20, and then sees her getting into a better car than the guy that just gave him the $20. And he went over. He goes, "Where do you get the nerve to get into a car that's nicer than mine? And I've been giving you money for months now, you know." And she mouth shut, and she just drove away. Again, it's not my place to judge, but that's why I like to, buying a box of Cliff Bars at Sam's Club is going to set me back, $14, $15 or whatever it is, maybe $18. And I hand them out whenever I see someone looking for food. So if you're out there, if you see someone, don't prejudge them. Just do something to help. If you want to do the same thing, carry around some food, hand out some food. I think that regardless of whether they receive it, take it in good faith or not like that, just you're still doing your part to help out whenever you can. That's how I look at it anyways. So what's new on the music front? You got any new songs you've been ready to premiere?
Well, I mean, I have tons of stuff. I started writing something new, though. And I guess I'm at the point with everything that's going on and how things have been shut down and stuff. I've been sort of holding out and just occasionally putting something up, maybe something that I wouldn't record. And now it's to the point where, I'm just going to start do some recordings with video of just of stuff that I want people really to hear. Right. And so I'm going to put something up probably in the next week. I also thought about doing a series, like I did a couple of those quarantine covers and doing it the Masked Singer cover thing, where I'm wearing one of the surgical masks while I'm playing and singing the song itself. And of course I've talked to a couple people at studios. There's one I told you about. I haven't heard back from anybody. I don't know if they're operating or not. And there's something else I'll bring up to you off camera too. But I'm going to put something up again soon. I was surprised with the last thing I put up. I did a shortened version of a slow song, and I'm like, well, this could be, I don't know how people will take it. It's probably lean more to the female crowd, and it got over 16,000 views and 44, 45 shares. So you're getting more views than Blabber Brains. What are we doing wrong here?
Was that? I said you're getting more views than Blabber Brains here. We got to make some sort of connection.
It's because it's easy because you're doing a song. It's harder to get people to tune in and stuff. But there's so much stuff out there, and it's almost, you see even famous people now. I get things even on Facebook, on news feeds, that are people who are famous who have been selling millions of CDs, or I still call them albums, and they're still out there paying to advertise stuff, because that's what, there's just so much out there now. You gotta pay to play, but people still need to take the initiative and say, hey, I like it, or if I share it. And if I get 16,000 views, and I don't know how many went all the way through, but over 200 likes, over 40 people to share it, then to me that's pretty good for somebody who's not who's not famous.
Right.
Most people don't know who I am. I mean, maybe around Pittsburgh or Western Pennsylvania they may sound familiar, but that's about it.
Well, I tell you what's a gold mine right now in some areas. If you have a establishment with a large enough piece of land, is drive-ins. Not only are they raking them in for showing movies, but they're now holding concerts there, and people driving in. It's not going to be the wave of the future. Eventually, this stuff is going to clear up, and people will be able to attend concerts again. But for right now, I mean, some of the mediocre to bigger bands. I heard Metallica now is going to be playing some drive-in theaters, even in Pittsburgh here. I'm not sure which one they're going to be playing at. Maybe it's Dependable or something. But Metallica's coming to Pittsburgh playing in the.
Are they actually coming here physically, or
yes.
is it just?
No, they'll be physically here, and what they do is the bands that perform up on a stage that then they videotape them so that they you can see them on the big screen. it's not really an ideal way to go to a concert. I mean, yeah, you can tailgate and sit outside your car, and maybe that's kind of cool and stuff like that. But it's not the most ideal way to see a band and stuff like that.
But,
I mean, you might as well watch them on TV.
There's been some of them that I can't now. His name is slipping my mind. Did that where, he was doing a live show, and it came to like Dependable or one of the ones here in Western Pennsylvania, but he wasn't here. It was being shown live on the screen, and I think he had it in maybe 250 or 300 drive-ins across the country. And of course, they charge by the car. It's not per head, and I'm surprised more people aren't doing that, even for like paper. Well, I saw a band about a month ago, Dirty Honey. It's a regional band from, I think they're in Michigan, like around Detroit. Really good band. And they did something like that where you could pay, I think I paid $9.95 or something like that. And they did a concert, but you could watch it on the app. You could watch it on your TV or on your phone or whatever. And surprisingly, it sounded fantastic, and it sounded like a live concert. It wasn't. It was really good.
Disciples did the same thing. What they do is they sell tickets. You can watch it live online, or they have different levels where there's even a VIP where you can watch them do like a acoustic performance beforehand. They do then they you can buy T-shirts and stuff like that. They get all kind of packages, but they're the recording quality is really good. I mean, it's because what they're doing also is they will give you the audio version of it as almost like an album. And then they'll give you the video, to download and keep it and save it and stuff like that when you purchase it. So that's kind of cool. And I think you're going to see a lot more bands doing that. Again, it's not the same as being live and in person, but,
No, but I tell you what, if I'm a band traveling around, I mean, there's just so many hands that touch everything that you touch, and vice versa, and the traveling and everything that's involved with it. You could get stuck somewhere. I'm surprised with today's technology, it's not really that hard to do. Plus, you don't have to pay $10 or even $5. I mean, look at how much Ticketmaster gouges you for the seat somewhere.
Hey, bands got to start doing that, and just to do something. You know what I mean? Just get some money in the door. You got to do something.
I think it could do quite well if you could get enough of people, across the country for one show.
Right.
I mean, you could do pretty damn well if you could get. I'm sure that it's not Kenny Chesney. It's Trisha Yearwood's married to him. I mean, the guy's big as hell. I'm real involved in the whole country music thing, and he's slipping my mind right now.
Keith Urban?
He was,
I don't.
No. He was real big back.
I don't follow country, so I don't know.
In the '90s, yeah, but you know who he is. He was the biggest. And he walked away from it for years. I can't believe I feel like an idiot
Garth
right
Brooks?
now because he's Garth Brooks.
Okay.
Him and Trish. I mean, I can't believe
he's the biggest that I know.
I mean, his mind. I can't believe I'm drawing a blank here like an idiot. And I heard it did that. I wasn't at home. I wouldn't mind checking it out, but I heard it was quite. I heard it was quite good, and they sold. I think they went into the millions as far as purchases.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. Well, hey, why don't we take a break? Where it looks like we're coming up on the bottom of the half hour here, and we'll come back with our special guest Joe Marini, and I think you're going to enjoy listening to him join in on the conversations, and so stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Thanks.
Blabber Brains.
All right, welcome back to Blabber Brains. For us, it was a long break. For you, it was but a moment. And we are now joined by our special guest, Mr. Jam Joe Marini. Let's give him a big round of applause. Or as I like to call him, Joe Three Sticks Marini. You know why I call you Three Sticks?
I don't know.
Well, let's see. Drumsticks, cigar sticks, golf sticks. There you go. 3 sticks.
Okay. Good enough. Sounds good.
That's your new nickname, Joe Three Sticks Marini.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
All right. Joe is, as you can tell by the guitar behind him, is a keyboard player. No, obviously he's a drummer, pretty phenomenal drummer. Joe and I have known each other for about 24, 25 years, something like that. And Joe plays with a fabulous band around here called Jim Donovan and the Sun King Warriors. I guess that's your primary band. I know you play in a lot of different bands. You fill in for a lot of people. You do studio work. You're one of the busiest guys I know. Not right this second, but you get to play with a lot of different people. Not just around here, Pittsburgh, but the surrounding region. You even out in Vegas, right? You played some gigs out in Vegas.
Here and there, yeah. But I mean, it's mostly Pittsburgh and surrounding area stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, that's you. I think you just described me better than I could describe me.
All right, there you go. You can save this on the playback and type up your bio. There you go.
There you go. Perfect.
Met Joe when he was playing with our good buddy Doug Corey. I've known Doug even longer, probably almost as long as Mark, maybe not quite. Truth and Soul.
Yep.
And Joe and Truth and Soul and Doug and all those guys appeared on the Power Hitters Tribute to Classic Rock that I produced back in 1996, something like that, 1996,
Right.
lifetime ago already. And they did a cover version of Gary Wright's Love is Alive, which was a great cover song. I actually sang backup on it because nobody else could seem to hit that high note. So I was pulling out my Paul Stanley, trying to hit that high note without dipping too much into falsetto and stuff like that. But it was a really funky, great version of Love Is Alive. So, and if anybody's interested in hearing it, because you can't buy that CD in the stores anymore, hit us up and I'll send you a copy of it via MP3 or AIF or Wave or whatever your preference is. I'll shoot you a copy of it. Any song on that CD. We had a lot of great local bands. Some of you that remember it. And if you're like, oh, I don't have that CD, but I remember it. I remember those songs. Hit us up, man. I'll shoot you. We're not going to sell it to you or anything like that. So it's free for us to give away. So you want it?
You don't have a few cassettes sitting around still that you can ship us?
Well, that one never went to cassette. Dream Makers was on cassette. And actually, I might still have some Dream Makers cassettes sitting around somewhere. But I
have one sitting in here somewhere.
Power Hitters,
the whole box of cassettes I don't use anymore.
Power Hitters was nothing but CD, and I'm not sure how much money was raised for United Cerebral Palsy, but we had fun doing that. We had fun at, playing at the Attic for our release party, so that was a lot of fun.
Nice.
So, anyways, Joe has also played with another good friend of mine, Natalie Sugars. What was the band you played with Natalie?
Band was called In the Mood.
Nice. Mostly like lounge stuff.
Screaming right now? Is this too loud? Can you? It sounds okay.
You scream anyway, so what difference does it make?
Okay, yeah, true.
You're allowed Italian, so what?
I am. The band I was in with Natalie was called In the Mood, and we did. That was like an agency kind of a gig.
Right. Like a lounge act.
Shows. Yeah. And like high-end wedding receptions, that sort of thing.
Well, Natalie is extremely talented.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to get her on Blabber Brains here eventually. So she's a really good girl, really class act. And,
no doubt. I'm sure she would.
No, I'm sure she would too.
I really got to light this up.
Yeah. What are you smoking here? What do you got?
This is an everyday Cusano, which is just a Dominican, Connecticut, like a good everyday smoke. Yeah. Very light and easy and not harsh.
That's my favorite in Connecticut. That's my wrapping of choice. So,
no doubt, easy to smoke. Yeah,
I don't know why I'm partial to Honduras and Nicaraguan cigars for some reason. I don't know, those two regions. I like their cigars, and it's not like I seek them out. It's like when I try cigars, I'll have to look and see where it's made. It's like, oh, Honduras. I'm like, okay. Nicaragua, whatever.
Seems to always be good cigars from there.
Right, exactly. So, anyways, we were talking before about, what you've been doing, at least as far as doing session work and stuff like that. And even now, it's kind of really hard because of COVID and everything like that. But what are you working on right now to keep yourself busy?
These videos that we get phone calls to do are really, really neat. there's a keyboard player who I work with, Mark Troyce.
Yeah, I know. Mark.
You know Mark, okay?
Yeah, I know
Well,
Mark.
he's back in Pittsburgh now, and
Cool.
he's all over these videos where everybody plays their part to a click track,
Right.
and you record, video and audio, then you send that to Dropbox, and he does all his magic and marries everybody's parts together.
Nice.
It's crazy. We have a couple that are already done, that are on my page somewhere, and then we have one that's almost done right now. We're doing videos like that. We've done some of those videos with the Sun King Warriors too. They're really fun. But other than that, an occasional gig playing cajon with Juan and Erica Vasquez. I'm playing with them sometimes, playing, wineries and stuff like that. And that's a really fun gig too, but just very simple and stripped down.
Right.
But, what else is there to do? Not much.
Right.
Although we do have a show booked with the Sun King Warriors. I forget the exact date, but I'll get it to you. It's one of these drive-in movie theater
Nice.
shows.
We were just talking about that.
We
in
were
the
just
first
talking
segment.
about that before you came on.
Yeah, I want to say it's September 24th, but it's in it's in the Somerset, PA area.
Right.
It's probably us and another band or two, and they're doing that whole thing similar to what they do in Butler, PA.
Right.
So we do have one of those gigs coming up, and man, I mean, to say I'm looking forward to it is a massive understatement.
Right. I mean, just to get out and be in front of people and stuff. And, another really good friend of ours is Kevin McDonald. I know another part of that band. Kevin is extremely talented, and again, I think that I don't know how you gather so many people in one band. They're just a group of great guys. But would you classify the Sun King Warriors as just a group of great guys? I mean, talented, great guys.
I've brought this up to Jim maybe a year into playing with him, because I joined the band, I want to say end of 2015.
Uh-huh.
And we were playing a gig in Altoona, a benefit show, and I told those guys that, before that show, how happy I was to be playing with them, because there were no psychos in the band.
Right.
None.
Yeah. No.
Not only is everybody...
Yeah, that's hard to come by.
Exactly.
God.
Isn't there always...
Stories I could tell you.
Exactly. Isn't there always at least one person in the band who, I don't know, just at the very least rubs you the wrong way or something?
Yep.
Well, Joe, I know why you're in a band that you don't have a psycho in it. You're not a psycho, and it's usually my experience is a lot of times the psycho in the band's a drummer.
Yeah.
So you got a drummer. You're a rarity. You're a great drummer, and you're not a psycho. I mean, you're.
Let's hope not.
You're in high demand.
Well,
You're in high, especially in Western Pennsylvania.
Sometimes it can be the singer too. So, but anyway, yeah. You also, I know that. Geez, this was a while ago. You sat in with another group of my buddies in Nomad, north of Mason-Dixon.
Yep.
That I actually, I've been friends with those guys since back when they were Stone Romeo, and then Truth.
Right.
I mean, I've done a lot of work for them. Even like I do their album work covers on a few things, design logos for them. But
nice.
Little trivia thing on there. The guys that I played with on the Power Hitters, the band Purple Heart, was basically the core members of Nomad, with myself on bass. So
I forgot that.
Yeah.
I want to say Gio Bennett.
Yeah, Gio played on there. Yep, and Rick Gallagher and
Bobby.
Bobby, yeah, right.
Right.
And from the original lineup there was Brian Osborne, so he wasn't there obviously because I was playing bass.
Right.
Dave Lindauer, and so we wanted to do something a little bit different. We just called ourselves Purple Heart, but we actually played out a few gigs as Purple Heart with some different members. It was myself and Dave and a few other people. But
Sure.
And then we played the Attic release party as Purple Heart, so that was a lot of fun. But we played at the Attic. Here's a little tie-in. at the Attic, we one of the songs we played was the Lillian Axe version of No Matter What, and I know that you covered No Matter What on your CD. The Sympathy and Criticism.
You got it.
All right, man. So and Joe was nice enough to meet me out at Oakmont during the U.S. Open and give me a copy of his CD. So that was really cool. So,
I forgot that I did that, but I'm glad that I did.
Yeah, we just both happened to be. I was working out there, and Joe was spectating out there.
Sure was.
Like, yeah, man. Just if you're gonna give me one of your discs, I will listen to it, and I even gave him feedback on it, stuff like this.
Awesome.
Great disc, man. And you poured your heart and soul into that. How long did it take you to put that together? Like 8 years or something like that?
Well, I mean, roughly. We started it in 2003.
Wow.
And it released in 2015.
Wow. 12 years.
Now, keep in mind, I wasn't working on it.
No, I know. People need to know. It's just something you were chipping away at, and
exactly right.
Life gets in the way of doing things here. And the same thing happened with the Beanhead book that me and my sister published a children's book a while back ago.
Nice.
And we say it took 20 years to put together, but it wasn't. We weren't working on it for 20 years. We started the idea 20 years ago, and just things happened, and it finally got released 20 years after we started working on it. So
that's right. You get the chance to get to it, and you chip away at it maybe for a few weeks, and then schedules get in the way.
Right.
And a couple of months go by, you're not on it, and then our joke at every gig I did with Scott Anderson. It's like, hey man, how's that solo record coming? And he asked me that for a decade.
Right.
But I think maybe around 2013 or 14, I was like, okay, I'm sick of this record not being done. And, light at the end of the tunnel, it got close enough that the last year was like, boom, I insist that this thing gets finished. And we finally pushed it over the goal line. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh, man, yeah. Well, like I said, it turned out good. Very. I like the more jazzy stuff that's on there because that's kind of my second favorite thing to rock is jazz.
No doubt.
And you kill it at that. That's I think a sweet spot of yours. Really talented in that area. But the whole thing is good. If it's not as if for sale anywhere, you gotta you just take it to shows with you, or what do you do? How can people buy it if they want it?
CD Baby has it.
CD
you could
Baby?
actually buy the physical CD still from CD Baby.
Not on Amazon or anything like that?
Well, it is, but only for download.
Okay.
So you could download it on Amazon. You could download it on Spotify. It's all in all those places. But I made that CD be a fold open CD to try to mimic what it was like to buy an album in the 70s.
Absolutely. Yep.
Having something tangible in your hands.
Yep.
So,
which thank goodness they're doing that again.
I'm all for people downloading it, of course, but man, the older I get, the more old school I get.
Right.
And I really would love for people to listen to the album in the order that I put the tunes.
Right.
And to be able to see the liner notes.
Right. So
like you did
CD
in
Baby.
the 70s,
So order off CD
wishful
Baby.
thinking.
Well, like I said, if you love contemporary stuff, there's some really good, really cool laid back songs, some good grooves, all that kind of stuff. So if you're the type that like the kind of music you can just sit back and chill to, or just lose yourself in, that album's the one to do it. So.
Thank you. I would also warn people that it's not an album that is geared towards one demographic.
Right.
It's very wide open.
Diverse,
I mean,
right.
My friend Max Leak, great jazz pianist, he has the album, and he said to me, Joe, I really like it. It's snapshots of your career.
Right.
And that's exactly right. There's blues on the album. There's straight ahead jazz, there's fusion, there's rock, there's pop, there's inspirational, there's all of that.
Right.
And it's just all based on what I was doing at the time, But I've had people buy the album and say to me, what the hell were you doing with this? This doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Because it's very jumpy as far as musical styles go. So
right.
What are you going to do?
Well, here's another. I'm not sure if you heard this story before about Mark Troy with the Power Hitters, but we when we were doing Roll with the Changes, which was the big ensemble that we had everybody from different bands sing on, and then the big chorus and everything. Rick Gallagher was supposed to play the piano with that, and was not able to make it into the studio that day. It's 24 years ago. I can't remember the reason why he was there. But Mark happened to be in the studio, and we're like, or no, maybe, I don't think Mark was even there. I said, I asked Doug, can we get Mark down here and see if we can get him to play Roll with the Changes? So we got him on the phone, and he said, well, I've never played it before. I'm like, yeah, but you're a professional, dude, can't you? He came
Pretty
in.
easy song.
Kind of. I mean, there's a lot of moving going on in their piano, but if you're
It's busy.
it's busy, but it's kind of straightforward. If you know the song, you could probably try to figure it out. Mark, like a seasoned professional, sat down, figured it out. Boy, if you listen to the track, it sounds like the original piano line playing, like it's Kevin Cronin playing. So did a fabulous job with that. So kind of blew everybody away. Stepped up to the plate when needed. So, and
good deal.
Yeah. One of the other thing, Joe and I, we've been threatening for years to play golf with each other, and it's one of the things we love to do: smoke cigars, play music, and golf. Yes. And so finally got a chance to do it this way, and this year, and I probably had the worst round of my life. Not of my life, but definitely in the last year. Yeah, and I think we all played pretty abysmal that day. It was really. It was something else, man. The rough was just incredible to try to play out of and stuff that day. But we still had a great time, man. A lot of good laughs. But I think we gotta get back out and hit the links again. Hopefully, maybe I'll be able to put together a better performance. But
me as well. But the thing is to me, September and October is the best time to play.
Oh yeah, because it starts cooling down a little bit.
No doubt.
Less humidity and stuff like that.
I'm especially courses around, closed courses.
Right.
I'm there. All I gotta do is get a sitter for the dog, and I'm good.
Right. Yeah. Well, we played Totteridge, which is probably about the only golf course around that is as close to a links course as you're going to find, and it's such a beautiful course. And
awesome.
I'm up and down there, man. I've had really good rounds there. I've had really bad rounds there. And so if I had a bad round there last time, maybe the next time would be a really good round. We'll
there you go.
See how that goes, whatever.
There you go.
So anyways, the other thing that really intrigues me is that you like when you I like a lot of your times your posts you like to sometimes put these posts out there where you're just like drumming on stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also showing yourself like playing your drum kits, whatever, trying to work out a fill or stuff like that. How many comments do you get by people saying that follow you or look to that to say, for inspiration or something like that?
I get a fair amount of comments on those, and I would say some are drummers,
right? Obviously,
who are commenting, which is really nice. Other people just like right now, I have a new drum kit and I've got some new mics that I'm kind of experimenting with and doing like a sound check basically,
right?
By way of a Facebook post, like, okay, here's the setting on this mic, and here's a little snippet, little quick sound check.
Right.
So people get all over my case, like, you're just showing off. You're not really doing a sound check.
There's always assholes out there.
All that kind of stuff. But it's all in good fun, and a lot of people just kind of like, some people just comment to comment, you know. But I would say, a lot of people jump in with those little snippet videos.
Right.
Try to keep them short. Try to keep them less than 25 seconds, to be honest with you.
Right.
But yeah, I would say I get a fair amount of comments overall, and I'm thrilled anybody even cares enough to click on the video and watch it.
Right.
I think I'm just thrilled and thankful just to have that.
Right. So my question to you is, when are you going to do a video of a Steely Dan cover with a full band.
Oh man,
You're a big Steely Dan fan. I know you are.
one of the biggest you'll ever meet. Man, would I love that. We were working on a whole tribute thing actually with the full
really?
horn section,
Wow.
and the whole deal. But it's been a while, and COVID messes everything up.
Right.
It could happen though. This project that I'm doing with Mark Troyce and with Kurt Lawrence and Nick DeBattiste,
Right.
we could cover a Steely Dan song very easily, I think. So I'll make the suggestion tomorrow to those guys, and I'm sure they'd jump all over it.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to hear that. That'd be amazing.
Me too.
Yeah. So when's the last time you were out playing golf?
Man, I did play two weekends ago, and I want to say it was somewhere close. I played Suncrest off of Route 8,
Right.
which was very okay, not real memorable. They put some money into the course, but it was nice. And then I played. I want to say Murraysville. When was the
Okay.
last time you played Murraysville Golf Club? A
Uh,
million years ago?
you mean Murraysville Country Club?
Murray, I don't think it's Country Club. It's the one that's right next to
Oh, I'm
Meadow-
thinking of Westmoreland Country Club.
Yeah. Not that.
Right.
It's right. It's off of Route 22 in
Yeah,
Monroeville.
I've never played that.
Well, it used to be a really short golf course. And
Right.
They've sunk some money into it and lengthened a couple holes. It's actually really nice now.
I've played
And plus it's
Westmoreland
close.
before. Westmoreland used to have the slickest greens in the world. They were like putting on glass, which I
Wow.
actually like, but they're really, really super fast.
Wow.
But I've been threatening to try to get Mark out on the golf course. You know, he's expressed about this much interest in playing golf.
My problem is that I had a herniated disc in my back from a car accident years ago, and I'm not very flexible as it is. And I golf, I think it was really one time, which was 20 years ago. And when you're like 200 shots over par, you're pretty crippled up the next. You're pretty crippled up the next day. But I have.
And that was just
thought
mini
about-
golf.
Yeah. And Kennywood, I think it was actually. But no, I've always I've thought about it. I'm left-handed, so I'm sure I could probably find a left-handed set of clubs fairly cheap if somebody's selling them, because there's probably not too many lefties out there. I've thought about it, and I just surely have to start with the kids, like to go out with Mike or to go out with you. You guys would already be having dinner and a few drinks, and then here I come walking in. I'm done, guys. I'm ready to eat. So I don't know how well it would work, but I've definitely I've gotten in a hell of a lot better shape with my back over the years since that time. And
We'll start you out the
It is
driving
something.
range. That's all. We'll just take it easy on you. You know, just go and
but I would
work
but
on the mechanics.
There's so many people I know who like to golf, and it would be cool to be more, to get more, and get involved with it and actually be able to. I don't care if I'm good or not, but at least I could sort of hang with everybody and not be, an hour behind. And
Yeah, but you know what? When you go to Florida with me, you could give my dad, an ego boost, because he would be able to beat you. So, and just make him
I'm
feel better
sure.
about it.
We could figure out a way to play in a scramble of some sort.
Yeah, the scrambles are always good when you're just trying to learn, because everybody takes turns hitting the ball, and if they don't use yours, you
skip it.
You skip it, and some scrambles say you have to use at least everybody's, shot once or drive once or something like that, and out of 18 holes, you're going to get a drive that's usable or something along the way. So,
No doubt.
yeah. Matter of fact, that's weird. I haven't played a scramble yet this year, and that's one thing that I'm missing. So,
I mean, it's really, a scramble is such a different kind of mindset,
Yep.
I mean, everybody's in the scramble, obviously, but, sometimes you hit great shots and they're still not used because another guy in your group crush one, you
Right.
know? And so, but I like the idea of that. Plus, you're always, when you're in a scramble, you're almost always competing to hopefully win something.
Yeah.
And that puts a whole new, another spin on it,
Yep.
you know?
Yep. Yeah. I get very competitive in scrambles. You know, trying to at least play with a group that's got a chance.
Yeah.
And
that cares.
And that cares. You know what I mean?
You know?
Yeah. So it's one thing I'm missing this year. I play in about 3 or 4 scrambles a year. I played in 0 this year, but
Yeah.
you know, that's
Yeah.
par for the course. Ha, pun intended for
What up?
2020. There you go. But I'm bummed. Anyways, looks like we're just about out of time here, Joe. But you know, I really appreciate you coming on here and blabbing
Sure.
with us, lighting up with us. You know, this is again, as I said earlier, this is what Mark and I of recent days loved doing, was hanging out in cigar bars, talking, and so far every Blabber Brain show we've been kind of locked down in our basement somewhere,
Yeah.
and you know, doing. I'm like, you know what? It's beautiful weather. I can't remember a summer that we've had in Pittsburgh that was like this in a long time, which is just gorgeous weather. And some people are going to say, well, it's too hot. You'll never hear me say that. Mark knows that.
Yeah.
Right? You'll never hear me
Yeah.
say it's too hot. I mean,
I'm one of those people. As long as it's dry, I don't mind it being hot and humid. I just like the fact that over the last couple months that we haven't had a ton of rain. Like every day, it's not raining.
Right.
That's what I enjoy. I
No
could care
doubt.
less temperature. It could be 100. I'm fine as long as it's not raining every day.
Yep.
all right,
No
Joe. So
doubt.
why don't you, where do you want people to hook up at you at? On Instagram, Facebook? Give us your pages that you want to promote there. We'll flash it up on the screen.
Great. I mean, I do have an Instagram page. I use it a little. I mainly am working on Facebook
Okay.
with promotions of anything that I'm doing, video wise or drum things or you know, whatever gigs that are happening during this. I'm doing Facebook for the most part. So Facebook, what is that? Drummer Glass Guy. I think it's facebook.com/drummer glass guy, I believe.
All right. Well, if it's not, we'll correct it. We'll put it up on the screen there. And
Yeah.
if they want to find you on Instagram, it's Jam Joe Marini, right?
Yes, it is. At Jam Joe Marini, kind of all one word.
Right. All right. Well, Joe, hey, look, this has been a blast. We got to get back out on the links.
Let's do it.
And you know, when we can, when the cigar bars open up fully or something like that, we could even hang out there or whatever. But until next time, you know, we're sorry this has been a month since we've been on the air here, and we're gonna try not to let too much time pass by between the next episode. But we hope
No
you
doubt.
enjoyed this little fireside chat. It's a little bit different. We like to mix it up a little bit each and every time. And thank you, Joe. Thanks, Big M. And until then, we'll see you next time. See you later.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.